Well, I'm glad you're here, and thank you for taking the time to join us. And just to talk a little bit about the procrastination retreat that we have uh, coming up. Uh, it, I really, I really do enjoy what we're going to be doing because I think we have a lot of enemies in our life when it comes to emotions. And one of those enemies is the concept of procrastination, because procrastination is a dream killer. Um, it is your enemy because it keeps you locked away from what it is you really want to do. And the statement that is on the screen, you will and you do procrastinate. Now, the question is there any of you that don't procrastinate? We all do it. So it really is truth. You will and you do procrastinate. So when I was thinking about this program and putting it together, because we did this retreat many years ago, and since that, I have sort of revised some of the information that is in there. The more that I get into the process of understanding that people are going to procrastinate, but I think sometimes they really just don't understand uh, what procrastination is. So I think there are facts that you need to know about procrastination. Okay. Number one, we make promises to people to get things done. We make promises that we're going to take care of things. But when you procrastinate, what happens is that becomes a broken promise. So procrastination really is about promises that you've made and then you break them. And there are repercussions to that. Another fact. The reason for the reason most of the time that we procrastinate, we justify it with an excuse. And we all have excuses that we use. You know, some of you have heard me talk about all of us have a book of excuses. And when we need to procrastinate, we just go down through our book of excuses and find one that seems to connect with people. Fact. Others are affected by your procrastinating. You know, there are times when people depend on us, and they depend on us because they trust us and they believe that what we say we're going to do. So this times ties into promises made, promises broken, and also that we have to justify to others why we didn't get something done. So procrastination is not just about you, it also affects other people in your life. It creates a continual mess. You know this as well as I do. Procrastination creates clutter. And clutter, for my definition of clutter, is just stacks of stuff that needs your attention. But you stack it and then you don't have time. So you look around you and it's just a continual mess of things that you need to clean up. And the result of that is you living from your emotions up. You can't look at clutter. You can't look at stacks. You can't procrastinate without there being emotions involved. And another fact about procrastination is it affects tomorrow before it arrives. So many times, the things I need to get done are in those stacks of stuff. And if I don't get things done because I'm procrastinating, it can make tomorrow a mess before it gets there. And it can also hold other people hostage. So procrastination is an emotion. It's an emotional choice that can affect tomorrow before it arrives. When you procrastinate, your stability is lost. What is stability? It is you being able to focus on what you need to focus on, which keeps you calm. It gives you a sense of clarity, and there's not confusion. But when you lose that stability, what happens? You're not calm, you're not clear, and you're sure not able to focus. So the thing that I need in order to continue to lead and to live a life going forward is taken away from me by the fact that I procrastinate. And this is a big one. When you procrastinate, time is wasted and abused. Because when you procrastinate, things just sit there in stacks. Those stacks are emotional. Those stacks have to be justified. And those stacks, they allow for more emotions. So what am I doing? I'm sitting there and I'm staring at the stacks of stuff, and I'm wasting time in doing that. Internally, you know what you're doing. I believe this with every fiber in my body. You don't do anything in your life without giving yourself permission to do it. Okay? You don't do anything in your life without giving yourself permission to do it. Procrastination, negative attitude grows. You can't look at stacks of stuff without being emotional. You can't look at stacks of stuff without being disappointed. But how do I handle the disappointment? I make excuses. Hmm? I give myself reasons. I justify why I can't get there. But all that's going to do is add no more negative emotions to you. Avoidance becomes and made okay. And what is avoidance? It's knowing what I need to do and choosing not to do it. Procrastination, another fact. The old you has control. You've been around me enough, you know my feelings about the old you and the new you. The Bible teaches us about the old nature and the new nature. And the old nature wants to keep you locked in staring and standing in yesterday. It wants you to live from yesterday to today, but the new you wants you to live from today to tomorrow. And procrastination is a choice, it's a decision to keep one foot in yesterday with all of my reasons, my excuses, and my justification, and then lean toward my now. But my leaning doesn't take me forward, it just traps me in the moment. It increases a host of other excuse driven emotions. Fact, opportunities are lost. You see, within those stacks of stuff, within that clutter that you're procrastinating with, there are possibilities. There's information you need, but you're not going to get to it as long as you're procrastinating with the stack. And then the last fact about procrastination, now you're living yesterday to today. Show me a person who is a procrastinator, who's not living from yesterday to today. Because those stacks are about yesterday. They're about things that need your attention. Those things are being taken from yesterday. But when those stacks turn into clutter that I am procrastinating with, it is dragging yesterday into today. And when I do that, I exhaust myself. I get angry at myself. I get disappointed in myself. So, procrastination is one of the most dysfunctional behaviors you have in your life. It keeps yesterday controlling your today. Now, is that true? You know what dysfunctional is? It's being trapped in excuses and justification toward things I know I need to pay attention to. And that dysfunctional behavior will paralyze me. Procrastination is an emotion that can paralyze you mentally because your mind is designed for forward movement. When you're procrastinating, you're trapped in a moment. And until you clear that stack of procrastination, you are trapped in that moment. Reality: procrastination is a part of the avoidance family. Avoidance makes a lot of things a mess that should never have happened. Every time, every time you procrastinate, you create a roadblock. Every time you procrastinate, you trip over your own feet. And understand something: procrastination is a byproduct of what? Avoidance. So, what's avoidance? It allows you to run away through excuses. You ever done this? Well, I really meant to get to this, but something came up. It's on my list of things to get to. I just don't have time right now. Avoidance verifies your agenda. I've said this for years. Behind every agenda is the real agenda. And many times we tell people, this is something I plan on doing, but the real agenda is, I don't want to do it. And the things you don't want to do, you can share with other people that you intend on doing it, but the real agenda is, I'm going to put it off as long as I can. Avoidance opens up that excuse handbook. Avoidance is about indecision. It's about saying one thing, but meaning another. And what that does is it paralyzes your ability to think. Because when you are driven by your emotions, you shut your mind down. Avoidance: it doesn't clear your pathway forward. Why? Because it creates its own emotional jungle. You can't procrastinate without feeling guilty. You can't procrastinate without at some point being disappointed in yourself. You can't procrastinate without knowing that, yeah, this needs to be done, but you'll do it in your time, which is always based in tomorrow. Avoidance allows others to stop believing in you. And, avoidance does so much to respect. Procrastination tied to avoidance does so much in dealing with people trusting you. Avoidance now becomes later. Avoidance, clutter stacks just keep growing. Avoidance exhausts you. Now, look at this, because the behavior that you use to define avoidance is procrastination. Any of those true about you? I mean, if I was in your life and I look around your life, would I find any things you're procrastinating with? Hmm? And would that procrastination be tied to any of this? Reality: procrastination is a choice. It's not a happening. It's a choice. It's not a happening. Reality: because procrastination is a choice, most of the time it causes you to lie to yourself and others. Every time you have an excuse, 99.9% of the time, that's a lie you're telling yourself or you're telling other people. And do you think when people realize your real agenda, that they're not going to lose trust in you? That it's not going to cause them to doubt you and what you say? Procrastination is an enemy. It's an enemy that has powerful consequences to it because procrastination is a choice. You make it cause others to lose trust in your words. And it goes back to my three little words: behavior never lies. Because your real agenda is what? It's not what you say, it's what you do. You will make the choice to procrastinate because you will choose procrastination. And you're going to procrastinate. So the real key is not to try to just stop procrastinating. You can't do that because it's a living, breathing emotion inside of you. But with any emotion, rather than seeking to what? To eliminate it, you have to learn to control it. And this is why I put this together for our retreat next month in April. Because you need to learn to control procrastination. Let me say it to you again. Procrastination is an enemy. It's a powerful enemy in your life because it locks you into living from yesterday to today. It takes you away from completing what you need to complete. It leaves you, in some respects, in suspended animation. So the question is, why do you need to be at this retreat? Because you need to be there. Number one, if you look around your life and you see incompleteness, because that's the byproduct of procrastination. Things that need to be completed are not. If you can have excuses as to why you procrastinate and you can justify them, you need to be here. If procrastination is holding you hostage and other people hostage who are waiting and depending on you, you need to be here. So let me walk you through this. You will always want to procrastinate. What you must learn is to control those moments when you find yourself struggling with giving yourself permission to do it. You can't procrastinate without you making it okay in your life. And procrastination will punish you, and it'll punish other people. You know, if I could just pick you up and drop you into this retreat, I would, but I can't. It's a choice you have to make. So here's why I think you need to attend this retreat. And I have put this together because over the years, I keep collecting things that people know are their enemy, and opportunities arise. But for some reason, they have an excuse to procrastinate what they need to be doing to keep their life moving from today to tomorrow. That's where growth happens. Your life becomes complicated when you resist dealing with the things that you know are holding you back. So, me talking to you, I've written this material. I know what's in it. I understand human behavior. And I understand sometimes that it is easy to make excuses when that excuse is designed to keep us from being accountable for what we're doing. Why do you need to be here? Because this is an opportunity to restart your life with a new behavior. And that new behavior is you learning to control an enemy in your life that you have accepted. All behaviors have to be examined. All behaviors need to be adapted. Behaviors that are not taking us forward need to have adjustments. So, with the information we're going to cover in the retreat, this is an opportunity to start your life with a new behavior of knowing and learning how to control procrastination in your life. Each day you procrastinate, you keep your life a mess. So, what if I could give you a technique that would show you how to not only control procrastination, but to clean it up? What if you could learn how not to create clutter with stacks? Hmm? Would that give you more time? Would that take some of the stress off your life? There's no good reason to live procrastinating. I mean, and if you can give me a good reason to procrastinate, that's really not tied to some excuse, then share it with me. Why do you need to be here? The respect from others is strengthened. When your word becomes your bond and your promises become what you keep, and people don't doubt what you say, then you create that harmony between you and other people, where in a spirit of togetherness, you keep things moving forward. Why? Why do you need to attend this retreat? Each day will then have fulfillment to it. You ever ended a day with stacks around you that you didn't get to that are already going to make tomorrow difficult? How many times do you look at something you need to do and the truth is you don't want to do it? So you create a stack filled with procrastination. And then when you get up the next morning, sometimes you dread what you should have done yesterday that you didn't get done. And it just messes up your day from the beginning. Why do you need to be there? Avoiding facing this behavior increases its strength. When you can learn how to control, you learn how to take positive action. And by the way, when you learn how to control, you also learn how to delegate. I've met a lot of people over the years that think they have to do everything. And the fact that they think they have to do everything creates stacks of clutter because there's not enough time to do everything. Yet there are people around you who can help you. Why do you need to be there? Because it's time in your life to be an adult. It's time in your life to live your life with a positive purpose. It's time in your life for you to look at your life, understand what procrastination is doing to it, and put yourself in an environment where you can learn to control it. And you can share with a group of people around you that are there also to learn. And maybe they have a technique you've never thought of. Maybe they've risen through this and they can share with you. You know, these small group retreats, one of the things that is so true about them, and you can talk to anyone who's been at one of these retreats, and they'll tell you the camaraderie, the time that we have in session, and the partnerships and the friendships we meet there and we make. And the most important thing, the trust that is created there where everybody is open to share. Why? Because there's only 15 people there. And those 15 are bound together to help each other. And I'd like to have you there. I know you need it. And if it's something you know you need, why would you procrastinate taking advantage of it? Hmm? I mean, folks, your investment includes everything except your meals on Friday and Saturday night. Those are on your own. I pay for your room. I pay for your breakfast. I pay for your lunch. Thursday night, we have a get together dinner. And before that, we have a reception. All of your material is included. Everything is there for you. And I make it so it's not overly expensive. I was talking to another speaker that I know that has always been on my case that I never charge enough for what I do. She said, Richard, if I was doing this program, I would charge somewhere between ten to $12,000 a person to be there. You have any questions about this? Some of you have been to a retreat. Is it worth the experience? Robert, let me unmute you.
Uh, I've been a couple of your retreats, as you know, and it is always a lot of discussion. Sometimes we take things directions Richard hadn't planned, but I know that that keeps you on your feet there. Uh, but I've also enjoyed the back and forth with the different attendees at these retreats and some of the discussions and some of the things they will talk about. Like Richard said, it's kind of like one of those, oh, aha moments that I hadn't planned on or hadn't anticipated happening. And I find myself making notes, made notes to take back with me and consider and ponder the different ideas that have been presented.
And the friendship goes beyond the retreat, right, Robert?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If any of you tune into Friday morning calls that Richard has, that carries through to there. Some of us keep in touch with each other from the retreat, kind of encouraging each other along the way. So I have appreciated the retreats I've had an opportunity to go to.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, let me unmute you.
Okay. I was at your Time Eaters retreat back in January, and the people there were absolutely phenomenal that were in the class with me. Uh, I'm still searching for my where I'm going next and purpose. And to me, it was amazing that more more than half were already older than where I was at, and they're still looking for more. And I think that's something that's basically in tune to each person is that they're always looking for something more in their life. And for the last 6 months, Richard's really been helping me find that more. So I just wanted to share that.
Thanks, Ray. Hello, Joyce.
I find a strong point of the retreats are that you're not just listening to a lecture, you are participating. So you are contributing and you're not forced to say anything. I mean, but it's the topic, it's kind of a discussion area where you will be engaged. And so if you remotely relate to the topic, um, you put yourself into it. So it's really different from just hearing somebody talk about it. And Richard's great to hear and listen to him talk about it, but the interaction and the way he drives the interaction in the group is extremely helpful because, uh, you don't own something unless you implement it. So if you put yourself into it, which means you're in the discussion. So you're either asking questions, giving your own answers, proposing a topic. You become more involved, and therefore you have a much greater chance of success in terms of doing anything with this, rather than being a passive listener to something and then thinking, "Oh yeah, I got it, and I'll do that tomorrow."
Yeah, it's amazing how many insights we gather in life. We go to somewhere, we're in a learning experience, and we go, you know what? I need to do this, and I'm going to take care of it. But on the way home, you talk yourself into procrastinating,
Yeah, yeah.
and great ideas get left in yesterday.
Or it's really not enough to even connect with it and listen to it. If you are discussing it, if you're in the group and you put some of yourself into it, you're going to be much more engaged with it, much more likely to actually retain the information and make it your own. I mean, I wish I could put that in five other ways because that's the essence of it. You make it your own because you're involved and you're going to take it home and work with it more.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a discussion and you say something and you think, that was really good? And you've answered your own question without realizing that you've done it?
Um, I don't know, Richard.
But that's the value of the retreat. And the retreats are funny because most of the time the daily workbooks are, 12, 13, 14 pages. And it was just like at the time eaters, when we hit our first break on Monday, we were only on page one. And it's amazing because people think, how's he ever going to get through this? But I'm able to do it. The value of being there is much beyond the information. It is the communication and the camaraderie of learning from each other because all of us are at different places in our life. And when you put a group of 15 people together, there's plenty of time to talk. And if you know that procrastination is something you're challenged by, then you need to be there. And it's just richardflint.com/retreat. And I hope, I hope that you'll join us. And Sonny, I hope it doesn't fall on your exams and you're able to be there with us. That young lady and her sister at the retreat where they were actually stole the show. And I was just so amazed by the two of them because they asked questions that were much deeper than what a lot of people would think. And they brought a lot to the table and they renewed my belief in the young people of today. And the funny thing about them, they don't pull any punches. What they feel, what they think, they're willing to share. And they shared a lot of great thoughts while they were at the retreat. Any more questions? I hope. I hope that you will join us. And again, the thing to remember is that investment that you make, and if it's a cost, you don't need to be there. Because when something is a cost, we find negatives to it. If it's an investment, you find meaning to it that you can use to improve, not change, but to improve your life. So, one last time before we go, any questions? Any comments? You know this is an enemy. You know procrastination causes you to trip over your own feet. And you know it gets in your growth way. And you know that it makes tomorrow difficult before it ever gets here. Procrastination makes yesterday a continual moment in your life that you need to make adjustments to. Denise, you want to add anything?
I would just encourage anybody if you do have more questions or you want to talk about it with Richard, feel free to reach out to him. His email address is richard@richardflint.com. Of course, you can contact me. I'll give you his phone number. But yeah, just if you have questions and you just want to talk about it one-on-one, just reach out. We definitely would love to talk to you.
And we'd love to see you there. Asheville, North Carolina, if you've never been there, it is a phenomenal city. It's like stepping back in time. It's like an artist colony. And it is just a super, super fun place. Okay, and like Denise says, if you have any questions, richard@richardflint.com, and I'll get back to you. If you want me to call you, just send me an email, leave me your phone number, and I will pick up the phone and I will call you, and you and I will talk. Okie dokie. All right, take care, and thanks for taking this time with us.